guys, welcome to another episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. Well, I am excited about this episode because, my book, it's all about knowing yourself, knowing your money. And once we can really understand ourselves, we can change our money habits. And so part of knowing yourself is having that self-awareness. One of my favorite tools on the planet for self-awareness is the Enneagram, which leads me to one of my favorite people who teaches about the Enneagram all the time, Ian Cron. Ian, welcome back.
Thank you, Rachel.
I feel like you're like a regular now.
I know. I feel like, I should be on the payroll.
I love it. So I wanted Ian on today because we've talked about this on the show, how personal finance, it's 80% behavior. It's 20% head knowledge. So I can sit here and just do this at the camera all day long to give you all the reasons why you should do something with your money, why you should save, why you should get out of debt. But the problem is that 80% behavior, who we are, is a massive part of not just ourselves, but our money journey. And so taming that part of our head and our heart is a big one. But we were just talking off camera, and I want you to just kind of explain it. 'Cause it's fascinating. The thinking brain, the feeling brain.
Yes.
Kind of the psychology of all of this.
Yes. So every human being has a thinking brain and a feeling brain. Now, the thinking brain is maybe the seat of reason, right? And so it can come up with all kinds of good reasons for why you should do something like save, right?
Yeah.
Or quit smoking, or lose 20 pounds, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it will say, because it's healthy, because you'll be safe in retirement, because it's responsible. You give a long list of reasons. But the feeling brain, which is not you need it. I mean, the feeling brain is really important. The feeling brain is going to say something like, yeah, but I don't feel like it. Like, I know those are all kinds of good reasons, but I don't know.
I still want to buy this new outfit.
And I'm really having trouble saying no to it. And I might have buyer's remorse later that my thinking brain will get mad at, but I'm going to do it anyway, right?
Yes.
And oftentimes, people think that the thinking brain is stronger than the feeling brain because it has good reasons. No, not true.
We're emotional people.
We are, and we make all your decisions essentially are made emotionally.
They are. Most of your life decisions are made emotionally.
Absolutely. So you have to figure out a way, if you want to save, how to get your feeling brain on board with the reasons for why it's a good idea.
Yes.
Right?
Which is so important to tame.
Right.
Because it can be so strong, that feeling brain.
And every time you look at the feeling brain and just say, because you should, the feeling brain kind of says, watch me. Just watch what I do.
Watch me eat that cookie or that second or third.
Right. Or watch me buy this a car I can't afford or buy this house I can't afford. Or because that feeling brain is also very impulsive. So how do you get the feeling brain on board with your spending goals and saving goals, right?
It's important, yeah. So each Enneagram type. So we've done shows before. I'll link the other shows down below, you guys, so you can understand what each type means. We have, I think, an episode on that. Mm-hmm. So let's go through them, okay? Let's figure out, the 1 through 9.
Yeah.
What do the ones need to get their feeling brain and their thinking brain connected?
Right. So let's talk about ones. You want to?
The perfectionist.
The perfectionist. Now, I would say that of all the types, I have this feeling that ones have the easiest time saving.
Okay.
They're responsible. They want to be good. They are meticulous. They would be budget-oriented. They love things to be in order, right?
Yes.
And they would feel like it wasn't good not to save. However, we're all human. And so even ones are going to have their own struggle with saving, albeit maybe less than other types. What would convince their feeling brain to get on board with their savings goals? It would be, as I talked to one today, they said, if I knew that I could take some percentage or portion of my savings and dedicate it toward improving, which of course,
it's big for ones.
Perfectionists they love improving things, this room in my house. And my goal would be to go room to room to room over time and improve it to make it more to my liking so that it was just perfect.
That's
right?
great, yes.
So I think, there's an example of where the one is saying, here are the good reasons why. Oh, and feeling brain, by the way, I don't want you to undermine this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reward you or give you, I'm going to bribe you a little bit and tell you that we can take some portion of this and dedicate it to a goal that is in alignment with your personality bent.
Which would be the improving for the one.
Improving. Now let's talk about twos. Spoke to a two friend of mine, and he said, I have a group of friends that I would love to get together with every year. Remember, this is the most relationship-centered number on the Enneagram, most interpersonal number. He said, if I told my feeling brain, every 6 months, you can get together with this group of friends for a weekend away where we just hang out together and catch up and do all the stuff twos love.
Yep.
I think it would incentivize me to save. That would be something that is so aligned with my personality's
and not just
drives.
saving for the trip, but saving in general. It's okay, I'm going to put X amount away.
Yes.
And if I do that, then I can bribe myself that over here I can spend a little bit of that money and go and do something relational.
Yes, but I think you can't put it 5 years out.
That's right.
Because the feeling brain will go too long.
Yes.
I cannot
need it
wait
now.
that
I
long.
need it soon.
Yeah, the feeling brain does not have the patience of the thinking brain.
That's right,
okay?
that's right.
So you're a 3.
I'm a 3, yes.
All right, the performer. You tell me what you think. How would you convince your feeling brain that it's a really good idea to save? What would you reward that feeling brain with?
I know, I was thinking my number one right now, maybe it's stage of life, I don't know what it is, but getting away.
Okay.
And it can be with friends, it can be with Winston, I don't care. I don't care, but the idea of leaving my normal routine, being somewhere else for even a short period of time, even 2 nights, is like so life-giving to me right now.
Why?
I love it.
Why? Outside of having children and all those other things, like what is it? What would happen?
I can unplug. Like the thought that I can tell people that I need to tell, hey, I'm not gonna check email for 2 days. I love it. It's so good for me because I'm not like that. I'm usually always connected. So the fact that I'm telling myself I don't have to be connected for 2 days, I love it.
Okay, so we have a mutual friend who just bought a lake house for this very reason.
Oh, really?
This person is a worker, driver, number 3 on the Enneagram.
Yes.
And for this person to be able to drive an hour and a half to the lake and have no work, right? Now, that's a pretty self-aware 3 who knows I have to learn how to be rather than just do.
Yes.
But for him to say, I'm going to go away to some place where it's my being place is a big reward.
Yes, that would be for me. 100%.
I'm a 4.
What's yours?
The individualist. Okay, so I was thinking about this on the way over. If I tell my feeling brain, and I've done this, there's that beautiful guitar you really want. And or, this is a confession, I have an expensive fountain pen collection. This is a fountain pen collection.
Like a writing pen?
Yeah, but it's a fountain pen, right? It's a fine ink pen.
Okay.
All right? They're quite expensive.
Okay.
Okay. They're not like your average Bic.
Oh,
okay?
I'm getting.
Okay.
All
right. Like we're talking.
Not a Sharpie. Not a Sharpie.
I don't even want to tell you what they cost.
So wait, because you write, you do write with it?
Yeah, and it's just aesthetically beautiful for a 4. Do you know what I'm saying? It's and it's unusual and it's special and it's unique, which is important to the individualist, right?
Yes.
And it looks beautiful on my desk and stuff. And my feeling brain goes, ooh, I might be able to hang around for that program. I would save. And if I'd have to tell my feeling brain, okay, but if we save and meet this goal, we get to get X, right?
A unique thing is probably what that is.
Unique and special thing.
Oh, that's good.
Or I can hang this guitar on my wall and everyone would go, ooh and I love it. Let me play it. All that kind of stuff. Okay, now 5s, you're married to a 5.
Yes, Winston's a 5.
I spoke to a 5 and they said, okay, 2 things would incentivize me. One would be some kind of learning experience. Right?
Yeah.
A book allowance.
Yes.
It could be, or this person really honed in on this, some new gadget.
Oh, golly. Don't even get me started, Ian.
Right? And some of those gadgets are not.
Oh, they're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
No, they're not cheap.
But if you said to the 5, there's nothing wrong with wanting that.
No.
But saving is a priority.
Oh.
But here's how I need to get my feeling brain on the team.
Yes.
And not being on the opposite team.
And when they get their gadget, they lay out all the instruction manuals.
Oh yeah.
And they
and if it breaks, they go on Google and insist on repairing it themselves.
I can't even, Ian. You have no idea. And I'm very thankful for that. My washer broke. Winston YouTubed it.
Yeah.
Ordered the screw, the special whatever hinge, and he was like, it was his best Saturday ever. Loved it.
I'm a 4 on the Enneagram, and that is, as an elitist type, I tend to say, I'm going to the art museum and I'm calling someone to come over and fix the washer dryer.
No, yes.
So I'm going to call
Winston. And he can fix any. I mean, that's the thing that I love about him, though, is he can fix it all. So that is yes.
Let's move on to 6s, and then I'll say something at the very end. So the 6s, the loyalist, concerned with security and safety, right, in the face of what they perceive as a very chaotic and scary world.
Yep.
I called my daughter-in-law and I said, all right, as a 6, what would it be? What would you have to tell your feeling brain? She said, well, just the other day, I bought camping equipment. And then she said, I thought to myself, gee, when I get some money, I'm going to buy a heater for the camping tent, in the event it gets too cold outside. And there's some other dry pack she wanted to get in case it rained outside, right? And it was just interesting that the where she would spend her money was on solving or answering her worst case scenario thinking.
Oh, that's good. Yep.
It's going to rain. It's going to be cold. And she said, it's always related a lot of the time towards safety. So you tell the feeling part of your brain, you want these things that are going to help you feel more safe in a world. And they may be expensive, maybe not, but if you save, feeling brain, we can get those things.
Yes, that's good. So
right?
Create that safety. That's 6. That's a good bribe for them. Today we're talking about things we need to stop wasting $20 on. Baby shoes. They're babies. They're not walking around. Don't buy shoes for them. Lottery tickets. Yeah, the Powerball jackpot. You got 1 in 292 million chances of winning, so don't waste your money. And Olaf waffle maker. I mean, pretty dang cute. I know. And the results? Adorable, but let it go. Wipe warmers. Yeah, the baby's gonna survive. Keep your $20. Clothes for your pets. I mean, super cute, fabulous, bougie, all the things, but you don't need to spend $20 on it. Guys, these things are totally unnecessary. What I do need to make sure I'm taking care of are these guys. I remember when Winston and I first got married and we talked about life insurance. Honestly, it was easy for us to talk about because we wanted to keep each other covered in case the worst were to ever happen. That's why we have term life insurance through Zander Insurance. It's $20 to $30 a month that I am more than happy to spend. Zander shops the top-rated term life insurance companies to make sure that they find you the best rates for the coverage that your family needs. You can have the same peace of mind that we have. So go to Zander.com to get started today. Don't waste any more time.
Called my son the 7. Right?
Sevens.
The enthusiast. Oh, they love the new, the unlimited possibilities in the future, right?
Yes.
The next escapade. So I said, what would get you to save? He said, well, 2 things. They're very fast. He said, if you told me I could buy this, he lives in San Francisco, and there's some cool new scooter that's out there, and I have seen a picture of it. It is very cool.
Yeah.
And you said to me, my feeling brain, you could get that and not feel bad, but you have to spend the next 6 months, here's the goal, and then you can apportion this much toward the purchase of that. He said, I think I could get on board with that. Or a trip to Bali, one or the other. You know what I mean? Well, whatever the case may be.
But it's some kind of fun experience. Like that's what the 7 needs. They need
That would incentivize
the fun of life. Yeah, that's good.
Then the 8s, I called my other daughter, Kaylee, and I said, okay, what would it be for you? And she said, if you told me I could get some incredible mountain bike so that I could do a century race, which is 100 miles, that would test my limits, which is what 8s love, right? They just love, I want to push myself and test my limits and, just leave it all on the field and then some, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're challengers. They love the challenge,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And she said, if you could convince my feeling brain would probably go along with that, right? And then what you want to have happen is that feeling brain and thinking brain to integrate, to mesh, and to say, we're on the same team. We
working
both,
together.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with wanting these things.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with it. It just has to be done in harmony with the bigger picture of saving.
Yes.
Right?
It's so good.
9s. My other daughter and my wife. My daughter, as I told you before we started the show, she said, I love things in my life that create comfort and a sense of peace. So her goal is a little bit bigger. She wants to start a clothes boutique. Right? She actually is a fantastic clothes designer. She's really great at it. And she said, the reason I want it is I imagine myself drinking herbal tea and folding clothes I can hear the music, just a stress-free life. So anything that would create less stress.
Peace.
More peace. That would make my feeling brain go, what did you say? Peace? Oh.
I'll do that. Yes.
I can save for that. Right? Now, we have long-term goals. We have short-term goals. People have to figure that out for themselves.
Sure.
So, but I think little goals,
yes,
little rewards along the way are important.
Very much so. Yeah, and you guys, like applying that, like we're saying just saving in general, but even through the 7 baby steps, like once I get my $1,000, once I do my baby step 1, then just a little, and again, little, because your baby steps 1 through 3, little reward, but then debt through the baby, and then through getting out of debt, right? Like, okay, once we pay off these 5 debts, the 5 smallest debts, okay, it will scratch that itch, whatever that little thing is.
Right.
But knowing what that bribe is along the way meshes that logical and feeling together. And it has to create more of a marathon mindset. Like that's what allows you to keep going.
Right.
Like you can't just white knuckle your way
through
life with your money. Yeah, you won't.
Your feeling brain will not let you go the long haul like this.
Yeah.
It won't. It's going to say to you, I'm not getting enough satisfaction from this.
That's right. So finding that satisfaction, for the long-term winning.
Yep.
I love that. See? It's like, yes, knowing yourself, you guys, I'm not kidding. Like that is such a big deal. And when you can get on board with that, when you're married and you know your spouse's number, if you have teenage kids, especially knowing how they're wired and getting them on board as a family, like all of it, being aware of who we are helps us win in the long run.
Knowing your fundamental desires.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. And knowing that that's what has to be addressed in the feeling mind. Right?
Yes.
As a 2, my fundamental desires for relationship. Mm-hmm. Okay, how do I address that?
Yep.
Right? And make that possible and make it easier for me to save, right?
Yes.
Those are the kinds of questions you should be asking.
100%. 100%. Yeah, because I even laugh at my dad, and we laugh about it on the show all the time because he has this thing, he says, just change. And he does this clap thing. Just change.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that works for 8.
Some people don't just change. Like, it's not that easy. So what are the things in your life that you need to not just understand about yourself, but things to put into place to allow those changes to actually make progress instead of just white knuckling your way through? Mm-hmm. And this is it. Understand your Enneagram type and how to bring that thinking brain and feeling brain together. Yeah. Ian, thank you.
My pleasure.
I always love these conversations.
Me too.
Going about the Enneagram and our money, it's so good, so fascinating. Okay, so where can everyone find you?
Well, they can go to ianmorgancron.com, and there they can learn about my IEQ9 Enneagram assessment, about my book, The Road Back to You, my podcast, Typology.
Such a great podcast. Yes.
They can learn about my new course, True You.
Yes.
Which is fabulous, I have to say.
So fun. I bet. Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's been doing so great and helping a lot of people. And of course, at Ian Morgan Cron on all my social channels.
Yes, I love it. Well, love all the work you do, Ian. We've said it before, and I'll just reiterate it. We don't say the Enneagram is gospel, but it is an amazing tool to help you understand yourself. And for me as a believer, it is. It's unpacked so many things, the not so good parts of me to be redeemed and to seek and look at and all of it. So it's amazing. So the work you do, I love it.
Yeah,
love it all.
You.
Make sure you guys check out Ian, his book, his course, podcast, all of it. Thanks.
You bet.